Hello, and this is Kurokami, and I'm back for yet another Junji Ito Anime Collection review. Today we cover the manga chapters, The Window Next Door, covering 16 pages, and Lingering Farewell, which covers 30 pages. Now, let's just say before anything, spoiler warning is in effect, so if you have not seen the episode, please leave now or be spoiled. And before I actually talk about the episode, I want to say something. This was the best episode that has been released yet of this anime collection. Not because of the first part, but the second part. Yes, The Window Next Door was good, but it was a little rushed and not perfect. It was Lingering Farewell. In my opinion, one of the best Junji Ito stories that he has ever released. Such a beautiful story. It wasn't even scary, but just the execution was perfect. And you could really tell that they put all of their effort into that story in this episode. So, without further ado, let's get creepy. Moving is always hard. No one can deny that. A new town, new people, on top of not being familiar with your surroundings, some form of stress is to be expected, but no form of preparation or coping could help the Sakaguchi family for what was to come. Yes, this typical Japanese family of three was quite ordinary, and after getting a good deal on a nice house, they moved in eagerly awaiting their new life. Now, just like in any country, it's common courtesy to introduce yourself to your neighbors when joining a new community, and Hiroshi and his mother were doing just that. But something was strange. The house on the right side only had one window, and it so happened to be directly across from Hiroshi's new room. Still, it obviously is not polite to judge others. However, even after ringing the doorbell several times, no one came to show their face. Were they simply not home? The Sakaguchis had better luck at the other house, as the woman there seemed quite ordinary. Thinking maybe this person would know something about the other house, Hiroshi's mother asked if they simply worked during the day, only to receive a strange reply. The house is always shut up, but a figure often appears in the window at night. As rumor has it, a middle-aged woman seems to reside there. That evening, after still not getting any answers, the Sakaguchi family simply brushes the house off as weird. Hiroshi, though, cannot help but to feel slightly paranoid since the house's only opening to the outside world is directly across from his bedroom window. Unfortunately for our young boy, his troubles were only beginning, as that night would forever scar him. Dear boy, dear boy. These strange noises continuously penetrated Hiroshi's ears as he lay upon his bed. Curious, he opens his own windows to see where the sound is coming from. To Hiroshi's surprise, the woman next door is staring right at him from her own window as she tries luring him out. This woman is definitely not normal. Hiroshi's eyes lay in horror as a creature vaguely resembling a human woman stared back at him. Disgusting bubbly skin, sharp rotting teeth, and not enough jewelry to cover herself. This woman seems like she just crawled out of hell. Hiroshi was disgusted as this woman invited him to her lair thinking he would actually go. Slamming his window shut, Hiroshi ignored the wretch's calls. Not believing what he saw, Hiroshi tried to forget what had happened the night before, but just like a recurring nightmare, the calls started up the following night as well. This time, however, the woman decided she would just come on over to his house if Hiroshi did not want to come over to hers. Extending a long pole, the woman was planning to use it to make her way over. Hiroshi was having none of that. After knocking the pole down, he rushed downstairs to alert his parents of the woman only for her to completely vanish. As expected, Hiroshi's parents did not believe him, but Hiroshi knows what he had saw. After a long discussion, his parents decided it would just be best to switch rooms with Hiroshi. Just like flipping a switch, the woman never showed up again. After some time had passed, Hiroshi agreed to give his old room a second shot. It must have been a dream, right? To Hiroshi's horror, it was not a dream, as like the woman knew Hiroshi was back, she resumed her nightly calls. Something was different though. Her voice seemed to be closer. How was this possible? As if extending her arms unnaturally long, the woman's arms came closer and closer, all the time promising soon she would be able to reach her beloved boy. Luckily, she never did knock that night, but now Hiroshi has proof. The window next door is coming for him. The family's talking about moving. A young girl. Someone's unconditional love for their father that leads them to fear a world without that person. That every waking moment is filled with a, what if my dad died? What would I do without my father? After Akiko's mother passed away, these are the only things this poor girl can think about. All she has left is her father. Many years later, Akiko is now an adult and is married into the prestigious Tokura family. Unfortunately for Akiko, though her husband Makoto's family did allow the marriage, they were not happy in Makoto's choice in a wife. Because of this, Akiko finds herself being ignored and glared at in the presence of the family. One person, however, was a fan of Akiko. Her new sister-in-law Yuka, who now looks up to Akiko as an older sister. Makoto as well tries his best to comfort her as well. On the plus side, it does seem like Makoto's great-grandparents don't seem to mind Akiko. When most people have phobias or challenges, they learn to cope with them, but even after the many years have gone by and finding the perfect husband, Akiko still imagines her father's death as just about every dream for her is a nightmare. Coping with her new life of being a Tokura, Akiko finds herself alone as she often lets herself get lost in the almost endless house. This is where something strange catches her eyes. Is it a ghost she sees? That's when it stares back at her with a blank, empty face. Scared half to death, Akiko seeks help from Makoto's great-grandparents only to see that they too seem ghost-like now. Not malevolent spirits, but ones at peace who simply exist. It is later that day where Makoto explains everything to his new wife. Those are not his great-grandparents, and they are not ghosts. They are after-images of the people who used to live in this house. The bigger the family, the more chances disaster has to strike. This was true for the Tokura family as the next morning Makoto's grandfather passed away. At least this gave Akiko the chance to bring her father along. Soon later, the last of the memorial service was underway. To Akiko's surprise, she was going to see her grandfather-in-law again. Before she knew it, everyone in the family began chanting all at the same time, all for the now deceased man to return to them. As if like magic, there he was. Makoto's grandfather was standing right in front of them all. He was back, but how? When you die, there are no do-overs. What could possibly explain this? This is where Akiko's husband explains the strange power his family holds. Through immense concentration, the Tokura family is able to create what they termed as after-images. Though they are not real, it is a way for the family to slowly let go of their loved ones in the most gentle way possible. But these after-images do not last forever. After materialization, they do begin to slowly but surely fade away. After about 20 years, they completely vanish. After that time, no matter how many prayers are done, that loved one is gone forever, but at least the ones left behind can say goodbye and calm their feelings. That's when it clicks. The fears that have been plaguing Akiko for all these years could be put to rest if she knows that when her father does die, he can simply be brought back as an afterimage. One person, however, cannot pull off such a task alone. The teamwork of many is required if an afterimage is to be completed. Akiko needs the power of the whole Tokura family if her wish is to come true. This, though, does not go over well with Makiko's family as they simply shoot her proposal down. Left to cry out her soul in a dark corner of her room, Akiko comes to the realization that she will never be able to see her father again once he dies. At the very least, Akiko has the warm smile of Yuka, someone who despite everything sees Akiko as the best person in the world. Then she sees it. Yuka herself is an afterimage. So young, so why? Why must even children be forced to a quick end in this cruel world? In the lap of her mother, Yuka tells her how much she loves her and she never wants to leave her mother's side. How hard it must be for a parent to see their child right in front of them, yet they are not really there. Not even your tears can make it to them. As time passes, Akiko tries her best to be the most supportive wife to both the Tokuda family and her husband. Despite it all, however, after 8 years of marriage, nothing has changed. Then she sees it. Her husband with another woman. How could he do this to her? What has she done to deserve this? Akiko has been through too much to get a divorce now. She's not going to let her husband leave her. After a little spat, Makoto drops the bombshell. 10 years ago, right before the two were to get married, just before their wedding day, Akiko was hit by a car and died on the spot. After begging his father, the family created an after-image of his now late fiancé, and so they then married. Yes, Akiko herself is not real. She is not human. Akiko herself is an after-image. Thinking it over, Akiko only has about 10 years left. With the little time she does have left, she cannot spend it in the Tokuda family house. After bidding her best friend Yuka farewell, Akiko sits out. All she can think about is her father. Who will leave this world first? Her or him? That's when she stumbles upon him. Akiko's father. Daddy, I'm home. Okay, this has been episode 6 of the Junji Ito Collection. Thank you so much for watching, and please like and comment to tell me how you enjoyed the video, and please subscribe for more content in the future. And again, this was the best episode in my opinion so far of the Junji Ito Collection. That second story is one of Junji Ito's best works. Just, even though it's not scary, the story is fascinating. So this has been Kurokami, and I'm signing off.